Assalamualaikum and hi everyone. My name is Aim Shahida binti Aminuddin and I'm student from BSMH3033 Training and Development Group B. I am representative of Group 1 and my presentation today related to training program. We was assigned to create a training program and we will be a trainers consultant that will create a training plan and conduct one of the slot in the training program. So now I will describe some of the details for our program, which is the training plan. Okay, our training program names is Pastry Art Training that will be held at Kitchen Room. The program can fit for 6 participants or trainee as we serve only 6 tables. One person will get their own table to have an effective learning and practice. The target population is for our training for a trainees that has any experience in pastry and bakery field. This is suitable for people that want to sharpen their skills. Overall, training objective is trainees will be able to master the technique and methods of pastry art and able to make variety of pastry cuisine. And for the evaluation, at the end of the training, there is an evaluation will be conducted. All trainees will be assigned a task to remake and apply all the knowledge, skills, and technique that will be taught in the training. The trainees will need to remake the pastries menu as demonstrated by the trainers. Okay, so this is the program tentative of the training. There is 3 slots, but I will only show how we as training consultant conducting for slot 2. Okay, Assalamualaikum and hi everyone. My name is Fatin and you all can call me Miss Fatin and I will be your trainer today. Okay, so before we start our learning today, have you all get the module?
Yes, Miss Fatin.
Alright, you all will be given 2 modules that will be used for this training program. But for slot 2, we will only use for module 1, which is the topic related to introduction of technique and method of pastry art. And for our learning points, we will, like I said before, that our topic for slot 2 is trick and techniques in pastry making. That we will learn. The first one is decorating, and the second one is piping. Okay, we move to the decorating. Okay, here is some of the tools for decorating cake. Okay, this is the first one is rotating cake. The first one is rotating cake turntable. The second one is pastry bag and tips, and this is serrated cake knife. And the fourth one is cake smoother, or we can call as scraper. And the last one is palette knife. Actually, there is many types of tools that we will use for decorating cake, but this is just the basic one and just for example for you all to know. And I will explain about the function of each of the tools that I give you for this example. For the first one is rotating cake turntable. It's not absolutely essential, but it will make your task significantly easier. For the serrated cake knife, it's used for leveling and splitting layers. And the offset palette knife used for applying frosting without dragging your fingers through it. It can make sure that your table will clean. Alright, for the pastry bag and tips is you can use for decorating, and the last one is cake smoother or scraper. You can use it for smoothing, frosting, and making decorative markings and patterns. Okay, for decorating, everyone can do it by just referring the following step that have in YouTube or other sources. But to get the best one, you need to learn the right technique and skills, which is I will teach you the decorating steps to get the best result in decorating cake. Alright, so we will move to the decorating steps, which is the first one is science behind the cakes. Sound interesting, right? Okay, so the first step is science behind cakes means you need to make yourself familiarized with the basic of cake baking first. You need to know the role of each ingredient, the role and function that the ingredients that you will put in the when you want to baking cake. This is important because it can prevent any problem when you baking. The problems such as a cracked cake. Okay, we move to the step 2. Step 2 is level each layer before you assembling your cake. Okay, once your cake is baked, let the layers cool to room temperature. Okay, after that, uh, you can using a paring knife and a ruler to score the outside edge each of your cake to mark where you want to cut. But make sure to completely remove any rounded top your cake has after baking. And then you can cut the cake using a long serrated knife, like I have explained before, and slowly cut along your marked line. And then carefully lift the top of the cake and revealing an even layer. And addition tips for you is you can keep the leftover cake tops to conduct an all important taste test. Okay, we move to the step 3. Step 3 is frosting cake with a crumb coat. For frosting cake, you need to assemble the cake first, and then it is recommended to assembling the cake on rotating cake turntable for makes you be more easier handling. And you can also use a spatula or knife to apply thin layer of frosting while you can still ensuring smooth and even coverage. Then put your cake in the refrigerator about 10 to 15 minutes to allow frosting to set. After that, you can take the cake from the refrigerator and apply a second, more generous layer of frosting. You can use a bench scraper to give your top layer of frosting a smooth uh, with a finishing touch. And the last step is holding piping bag at a perpendicular angle. Okay, just you when you looking at online cake decorating video, it is easier to do piping right, but without the right technique, the right tools and the skills, it can be hard to do. So to do the piping, first you need is to fill pastry bag with frosting. And I will show you how to fill pastry bag with frosting. Use a easier way, and you all can come closer to me to take a look to get a better understanding how the way I fill a pastry bag.
Cut off the end of the piping bag and fold back the wider opening to create a cuff. Fit the pastry tip into the bag and double check to make sure the bag clears the tip entirely. Twist the bag near the neck and push into the pastry tip. Make sure the bag is fitted tightly around the pastry tip. Place the pastry bag into a tall, upright container with the cuff on the outside. Fill the bag about halfway up and gently shake to settle the filling and clear out any air pockets. Gather the ends and twist to close like a bread bag. Hold the twisted part firmly in between your thumb and your index finger. Pull to release the neck and gently squeeze to advance the filling.
Alright, after you fill the pastry bag, what you need to do is you should hold the bag by placing dominant hand at the top and support the middle of the bag with other hand. And where you put your dominant hand at the top, where you twisted it to shut while supporting the middle of the bag with your other hand. And your hand at the top should use to apply pressure to the pastry bag. And when you do the piping, you have to hover the bag over your cake so it is perpendicular to the countertop. The perpendicular angle will make you easier to control the piping bag and you can start to piping your design. Okay, here I will show you the right way to hold piping bag.
For people that are new to piping bags, the most common mistake I see is holding the bag incorrectly by just grabbing in the middle of the bag. To properly hold an icing bag, what you need to do is make sure all your icing is down at the base. You give a little twist and you hold the bag and squeeze from the palm and your thumb of your hand. You have much more control of your icing and you don't have icing coming out the back of your bag.
Okay, by looking the demonstration, I'm sure you know better now how to do it with the right way. Okay, so we have finished with a decorating part. Now we will move to the next topic, which is piping. Okay, can someone tell me what is piping in pastry?
Can I, miss? Okay. Piping is to squeeze a pastry bag in order to force frosting or other paste like mixtures through the tip of the bag for the purpose of decorating or creating a special sheets.
Alright, that is good answer. By the way, thank you for answering my question. Now I will show you some piping tools. Here is some of the example piping tools. Like the first one is petal nozzle. Second one is star nozzle. Here is the pastry bag and tips with a different design of nozzle or tips. And this is round nozzle, and the last one is rose nozzle. Okay, for the piping bags are the most indispensable part of cake decorating that are available in a range of size, styles, and materials. Besides, you can choose a disposable plastic piping bag, reusable or silicone piping bag for your decoration purpose. Among the piping bag, the silicone piping bags are popular as they are reusable, practical, flexible, and durable. Okay, to design borders and other extra details, you can use piping tips or nozzle of varied shape and size. Like I'm show you the example of the different design of nozzle. Okay, for example, that these small cones are configured to produce different design when icing is squeezed through them. For example, like rose nozzle is suitable for you when you want to make artful swirls or gorgeous flowers. Piping icing to when you want to decorate cupcakes and cake. And okay, I will show you the different design of tips that can produce different piping icing. Alright, now we'll move to the piping tips. Okay, for piping tips, I will teach you to make the best piping decorating. Again, I repeat that with the right skills, and know-how, you can create a professional looking that the cake can use. Sorry, you can create a professional looking cake just by using a simple decorating bag and some assorted tips. Okay, before I share the tips with you all, I want you to watch piping techniques just by using one tip. I will demonstrate it. Again, now you can see that by using just one tips only, but it can create a different design and shape. Okay, we will move to the first step, which is consistency. Okay, having your icing be at just the right consistency is vital to perfectly decorated confection. If the ice is too thin, it can leak out of the bag. It can leaving you with a mess. But if it's too thick, you'll be left with a lot of unnecessary squeezing. Your frosting should come out of the bag in a smooth line without breaking or cracking. Okay, the second one is not to overfill the bag. The contents of your decorating bag should rest comfortably in the palm of your hand as you cup and guide it through every swirl, loop, and design of the decorating process. And you can make sure when you fill the bag, you shake down the frosting to eliminate any air pockets. Remember that to hold the bag close with one hand while icing your cake. Okay, the third one is learn to keep steady hand. Okay, I know it is not always easy to keep your hand perfectly still while frosting, but I sure that this is a skill that should be perfected if you want a flawlessly iced cake. You can try resting your elbow on the table and supporting the wrist of your piping hand with the other hand. The more grounded you are, and you will be less shaky, your icing will come out. The last tip is keep it centered. Okay, whether you're writing happy birthday or congratulations or any other words on your cake, it will look it ill. You want it all to look centered and balanced. To achieve this perfect look, mark the place of the first and last letters with a pin. This can help to keep everything nice and centered and can ensure that you won't run out of room before you have finished.
Okay, we have finished our topic for slide 2. So I want to ask you all, from what you have learned today, where you can apply the decorating or piping technique.
Okay, for me, I can apply the knowledge and technique when I want to decorate cake and cupcake. I learned to create another different design or shape of the frosting from this training. Also, from what I had learned about decorating and piping is, after this, it can be easier for me to control pressure and know how to handle the pastry bag.
Okay, thank you for the answer. I can see that all of you get what you learned today. I hope that all of you can be a good pastry chef in the future. Alright, thank you for staying focused till the end of slide 2. Now you can rest for a while before slide 3 begin. That is the end of how one of the slot, which is slot 2 in our training program, was conducted by our group as a training consultant.